Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're doing very, very well. Ah, Charlie's bowled it.
Sorry.
Got an alarm going on. Do you know what? The live started that quickly that I reckon most people have missed that one. So there you go. Unless you watch
it was a reminder for me to be here. So
fair enough.
I'm here.
To be fair, we did start a bit early, didn't we? So nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. How's everything, guys? Obviously, we're ready for the whole game. I don't think anyone's going, though.
Mate.
No, not even you, Charlie.
No, mate, not there. Not even me, mate. This is the first domestic game I've missed all season.
This is my second game I've missed. I missed Palace.
I don't know about you. It feels a bit weird when it's a game day and you're not going.
I'll be honest with you, though. As much as I love going and watching Chelsea, it is really nice to just be at home and not worry about trains and how much I'm going to spend.
How bad was it on the way back from Wolves on Saturday?
Honestly, Nina, we were stood up, and there was a point where I can't remember what station we were at.
Maybe we stopped at Milton Keynes, and they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we don't know how long we're going to be stuck here, but we're waiting for someone else to come on the train, some staff. So it could be ages." So we just swapped trains and meant to fucking stand up the whole way back.
We were sat with these older ladies, and like me and Charlie hadn't eaten since the morning, and they gave us like these sort of brunch bars, didn't they? And what were those mint things they gave you?
Hey, chocolate limes. Never had one before. It's a classic old woman sweet, I reckon. But they did the job.
Have you ever had a chocolate lime, Nina?
I don't think so. Not the ones you're describing.
I'm not into all that. I don't like lime, so it's not really my thing.
Lime chocolate.
No, it's like you know like those hard sweets that you get in Tesco, right? And it's basically like a hard sweet that's covered in chocolate, and then the middle's like lime flavour.
No, not a bit of me. I don't think you can mix
to be fair, it was all right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it was decent.
I don't mind like chocolate orange. I think that's as far as I can go with a fruit chocolate mix, but lime and chocolate.
No. This was in my.
It was desperate times, to be fair.
Wow, guys, we're playing Hull away tonight, and we're talking about.
But we're just talking about the experience about how going on the trains is.
This is the thing, Nina. Is like if we were going to this game, there would be some problem. There's always a problem. There's always a problem.
That's why I get the train so early to factor in at least 2 hours.
How are you watching instead? What will you be doing?
I'll do a watch along.
I'll be sat on the sofa watching it on the TV.
Hit the like button for that. Alex is doing a watch along. He's not going to Hull.
Doing a watch along. Why
I think Father's the only one going.
And Warren's going.
Yeah, but he lives in Newcastle, so it's not far.
He's not too far, to be fair. I don't know. Listen, I don't think Hull does a good Chinese father and result is in charge. This is what I've been saying, Sean. This is what I've been saying, mate. Every time he doesn't eat, every time he doesn't eat Asian food, we lose or we drop points.
Mate,
I said it to Father.
Chinese with him on Tuesday.
Mate, we arranged to meet at Sitchan Popo before Leeds, and we were both a little bit late, and there was a big queue. So we went, all right, we'll do Taco Bell. I said, Father, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And I said while we were ordering our foods, I'm guaranteeing we're dropping points. Sort of laughed it off, but I mean, it keeps happening every time. It's the same at Arsenal. We didn't eat Chinese and we lost. So I'm begging you, Father, have some chow mein, have some sweet and sour chicken, whatever it is, some noodles.
We'll start eating Chinese then before the game, or just Asian cuisine to increase our chances.
What was the last game before Leeds? What was the one? But
Wolves.
That was Wolves. And he had Japanese before that game. So anything Asian, it works.
So the theory stands.
It's real, Nina. It's real. I'm telling you right now. And I am going to text Father before the game and say, what have you eaten? It's important. It's important.
It's important, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they do. He's going on the coach. I'm not sure if there's going to be any Chinese at the services. He's probably going to be struggling.
Yeah, to be fair, he did say that to me. He said it's going to be like I think it's going to be like on the coach for about 12 hours today.
Yeah, bro, it's like 6. If you include the stop, but they stop for like an hour, don't they? But it's going to be like 6 hours on the coach each way.
That is nasty.
Yeah,
that is nasty. Have you done club coach?
Yeah.
I've never done it. I've never done it.
I've done it to Everton a few years ago and we lost. And
it's never fun.
So long.
That's never fun. Never fun. Right, maybe we should actually talk about some some football.
But people like the inside information, mate.
They do like the inside information.
Crazy inside info there, guys. Wow. You've really given it all up.
No, do you know what though? Like, who else is going to come out with this stuff, right? Everyone that's doing these watch-alongs from home, you can't experience what we're experiencing. This is real. These are real-life problems that matchday fans have. These are real problems. Anyway, yeah, smash the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel as well. Check out okjersey.com. Use the code cfctvyt for 8% off. Go on then, Nina. How are you feeling? I feel like sorry, me and Charlie have just been going back and forth.
I'm good, but I'm craving a Chinese. I've been thinking about a Chinese for like the last few weeks. And you know when you're so set on a certain takeaway and you keep not getting it. So maybe I should have a Chinese.
Well, if you don't get it now, you said that, and we lose tonight, we know who's following.
I actually will, guys. I will. Here we go. It's on camera. I'm getting a Chinese tonight. If we lose, then clearly. Anyways, moving on from what I want to eat later. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I always take these cups seriously, and now that we're at the Carabao Cup, tonight's game has even more importance. It's against opposition that arguably on paper we should be sort of not breezing past, but certainly taking a comfortable win to proceed into the next round. And yeah, look, it's got a lot of obviously sentiment for Rosenior, Liam Delap returning to their former club. I think Rosenior spoke out about a lot of his family coming to the game. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches it. Obviously, there might be a case of I want to kind of prove a point here, see how, you know, how my managerial kind of career has taken off since being here. But yeah, I think it's an opportunity to get some certain players who haven't been getting game time to get some minutes up their belt. Hopefully an opportunity to get a bigger win as well, but it's never a case where we have to underestimate these teams. Also, Hull have been doing quite well in the championship, so you shouldn't underestimate them. Yeah, there you go. So actually they're a stronger side than sides we have lost to in the championship previously, if that makes sense. Like, we've had some pretty poor one-off results against teams in lower division, so it would be silly to underestimate this and say it's going to be a walk in the park, but certainly a game Chelsea should be winning. And I want an FA Cup. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really, really set. I said prior to the season, I want us to win at Wembley at some point. You know, we keep going to these finals and losing. It's all great being at Wembley, but if you're not lifting the trophy every single time, it just becomes a little bit, So yeah, a really, really sort of important game in terms of our path to hopefully what's a realistic trophy, but it depends on how serious we are in the lead up to it.
I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at the championship table as well, and I mean, it's not looking good for us if we're going to go to some of these games. Middlesbrough, Hull, Ipswich.
We lost Middlesbrough, didn't we, away 1-0 a couple years ago? Yeah. Was it under Pochettino?
That was probably the worst day I've ever had.
I remember, mate, we filmed in the morning at the Sun, didn't we? And then I couldn't make it, and you went on to Middlesbrough. And
that was a big rant, Alex, wasn't it?
Thank God I couldn't make it. That's probably one of the only times I've been glad.
Why couldn't you make it though, Charlie? Because I was there as well. I don't understand.
No, mate, I had like something on in the evening that I had to do. I can't remember where it was. I couldn't come. Right. But yeah, mate, it was. That's one of the only times I've thought I've been glad not to go to a game.
To be honest, Middlesbrough, like as an experience, was quite enjoyable. I thought the away pub was a bit weird. We were in like a club, but it was funny. You know, it wasn't like, oh, this is dead. It was actually quite fun. It's just that idea of like Sunderland, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, all in the same league. Like, are you kidding me?
You get Hull as well, you know, because the Middlesbrough got automatic.
And Hull, like even Wrexham's not bad. I mean, you can probably get to Wrexham easier than
Wrexham's right by Liverpool.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
well, that's not great either. So that then I'm just hoping Coventry go up, because Coventry's like pretty simple on the train. That's a direct train from Reading, isn't it? So
and from London, direct train take you an hour from London on the fast train.
Yeah, man. So I'm hoping Coventry go up. Millwall, I'm not even sure how I feel about Millwall. I know football's evolved, but I feel like it's one of those places I wouldn't know whether we can.
Probably be like Naples, mate. Don't wear colours and keep your head down.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like Spurs, were you at Spurs, Nina, when we were still filming after? Do you remember that guy?
Oh, mate, someone fucking stamped on the tripod.
Oh yeah, well, we were outside when Cam got a bit annoyed.
Yeah, he basically had to go at the steward because the steward didn't. I don't know what the steward was supposed. To be honest, I understood the anger. To give you some context, guys, basically we were filming at Tottenham. I was wearing Chelsea colours. Tottenham fan came up to me, had a go at me, and then kicked the tripod, broke the tripod, and then Cam had a go at the steward for not dealing with this guy. But I don't really know what the steward is supposed to do. I mean, the guy just walked off. So, but there you go. But yeah, I'm just wondering if Millwall might be a little bit of a difficult one. I mean, nothing like Italy. Like, for example, Naples, I would never dream of filming. But Hull, I'm sort of uncertain. I'm like, well, I know there's a big rivalry there, but there's also a big rivalry at Leeds and even Tottenham, and like I can film there. So
Leeds and Tottenham's actually fine.
It's fine, isn't it? It's really not that bad. A couple of years ago, it was a lot worse, and I think it's sort of mellowed down. But yeah, I mean, I was listening to, well, not listening, I was reading about the Hull owner. I think it was Kieran Gill, who said he spent 24 hours with the owner, or he had a chat with him or something. And I was very surprised by his comments towards Liam Rosenior and just his take on how he wants Hull to get promoted. He basically said that he didn't want to get promoted playing the style of football that Rosenior was playing because that requires top players. And so when we have this, I mean, we've never even had this debate really because it's not relevant to Chelsea. But when you speak about Hull sacking Rosenior, he wasn't actually doing badly at the time. This is the thing. Then you go, well, why was the style of play an issue? Because I don't think he was. I don't think he was playing really bad football, but actually it was almost the opposite. Is that he was playing a little bit more expansive, and then the owner's looking at it and going, well, that's not going to work in the Premier League. It's going to be like Southampton or like any of these other teams, Norwich in the past, that try and play out from the back without necessarily having the quality. And I was really surprised by that.
The company, didn't they? They smashed the Championship playing that sort of front foot attacking football, went up to the Premier League, done the same thing, and were diabolical.
I just can't believe it. I mean, I find that a bit of a strange thing to admit, even because, right, you might not be a fan, but you can also adapt, and let's not act like the majority of, well, there's going to be a portion of players from the Championship that then make it into the Premier League, but there's a lot of them that will be sold back to Championship clubs, and then you'll hopefully invest some money. You don't even have to invest that much money to establish a side that's capable of staying up. You just need to have, smart recruitment. But yeah, I was really shocked by that. And my thing is just, if you're not a fan of the style, but you still think you can get promoted, play that style, get promoted, and then change the manager if you're not happy. And like, if you can justify your reasoning, then, we'll see if you're right. But I think regardless of what you do, you're going to have a good chance of going down. I'm not sure what like the odds are in terms of teams getting promoted and staying up, but it's got to be at least probably 70% to go back down.
Yeah, at least one or two of them go straight back down. There's normally always one that goes down. I mean, all three doesn't actually happen as often as you think. But yeah. I mean, the way that he left Hull was a bit strange because I think they ended up coming 9th in the end. And he was playing some decent stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, falling out with the board and whatnot, differing ideas and on ways of playing, and that is never an ideal situation to be in. But no, I think he'll go back with maybe, I don't know if he's got a point to prove. I don't think he needs to prove anything to Hull.
Not really like a point to prove, but just more like a showcase of himself and how much he's built on his time at Hull.
He's probably already shown that though. Like I don't think him coming.
Yeah, but obviously, like Hull to Strasbourg to Chelsea as a career path is quite big.
Yeah, no, it's a massive jump, isn't it? It's a massive jump.
No, it's definitely a massive jump.
I mean, it's almost. Well, I wouldn't say it's romantic, but I reckon that's kind of the way it feels like, oh, it's nice to go and visit my old club. A bit like if Maresca went to Leicester. I don't think it's like a huge deal, but also it's like, you were one of the clubs that gave me a chance. He was also a player for Hull as well. So, yeah, he does have an affiliation with them. If I look at Hull's recent results as well, in the past 5 games, they've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. And in the past 2, that was the loss against Bristol City and a draw against Watford. So I mean, they're not in terrible form, they're not in great form, basically like for like, because we're three wins, a draw and a loss as well. So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at Hull and I'm going, right, you're probably going to set up defensively, look to counter, long balls, set pieces. I mean, that's an area that I actually do believe they could damage us potentially, although I'm not sure what their stats are in terms of actually converting from those chances.
Didn't we concede our goal to Charlton from a set piece?
Yes, that was a corner, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that way. Yeah, I mean, I was saying this, like, I just downloaded fan analysis as well. You guys have got me involved. I was like, well, I need to get on Sky. I need to. This is if that's what I have to do. I have to go on it. What do you have to do? You have to put like
you like rate players, and you can you write like little match reports and stuff.
I've got to write a match review as well. God, they're asking a lot. But so yeah, I've done that, and then it asked me for my score prediction. I put 3-1. And some people put 4-1. Some people probably say 5-1.
I don't think it'll be that much. I don't think it'll be that much.
I think we'll rotate that much. That
it's either the scrappiest 2-1 ever, or a convincing like.
No, but even but on the rotation and stuff though, like after this game, for the first time since Rosenior has taken over, we've got a week to prepare for a match. There's no midweek game for the first time since he took over, so. I don't actually think. I know Tuesday to Friday is a short turnaround, but there's a week off to prepare for this Burnley game afterwards. So I don't think we need to see a lot of rotation. I don't think we need to see 7 or 8 changes. I think you can still afford to go reasonably strong in this game, maybe 3 or 4 changes, and then get the job done. And you can take players off because, as I said, there's a week to prepare for the next game. It's not like we've got to go again on Tuesday or Wednesday in a Champions League playoff. You've got a whole week off. So for me, yeah, there's going to be a few changes, but I'm not personally up for seeing like 7 or 8 changes.
No, not 7 or 8, but I certainly think there still will be quite a few, because not even thinking about the fact that we have a week rest afterwards, but because some of the players have not been involved at all, even the substitutes in the last couple of games. We've stuck to pretty much similar lineups. There's been very few changes, and the likes of like Garnacho hasn't even had sort of a look in. So you imagine that he will start.
Yeah, I think he'll play.
We'll go through the lineup and stuff in a bit, but I think the fact that there's lots of players there that have sat on the bench in the last 2 games and haven't really even had any part to play will be an opportunity for Rosenior to actually give them, an opportunity to do something. You look at players like Josh Acheampong, who got a start and perhaps maybe didn't have a perfect game, had some mistakes, but surely you would encourage him to build on that and have an opportunity to play better. I said he's not any worse than some of the other centre-backs we have, and if anything, he's shown a lot more promise, actually. So you think about starting him again. So I think
probably start him at right back.
Oh yeah, you think?
Yeah, I'll probably start him at right back, and I think I'll probably play Mamadou Sarr at centre back with Chalobah.
To be honest, that probably sounds like something Rosenior would do, because I don't think he'd like switch the back line entirely and we're going to see 4 like completely different.
Well, we know that Hatter's going to play because Cucurella is obviously injured, and then I don't think Gusto will play. We don't know how. I mean, Reece took part in full training yesterday. Whether he starts or not, who knows? But you go. I mean, look back for it. I go Acheampong, Sarr, and Chalobah, and then Hatter at left back. Which, all right, is a few. Well, it's like what 1 change in personnel.
I want to see Uncle Tossin in there.
Mate, Uncle Tossin might not make the game, and he's only just come back to training anyway. I don't want to be seeing Uncle Tossin. Uncle Tossin can be best friends with Palmer vibes, but as far as on-pitch contributions go, I'm not here for it.
I'm with you on that one, Charlie. I'm with you. I feel like that's, when we talk about Tossin playing against sort of Premier League teams, Hull are on the cusp now, so that might be a little bit of a...
Yeah, mate, we need to be really going sort of bottom half championship.
That's what we're looking for. So maybe in the next round, you never know. I think, just going back to what you said, Nina, on Acheampong, like, what's your take on him? Because I see a lot of similarities between him and Fofana, but the one thing I will say that I don't like about Acheampong, and I'm not saying Fofana's not prone to make mistakes, but I just don't feel like I get through many games thinking Acheampong's going to have a perfect game. I always feel like there's a moment where he's going to give the ball away, do something a bit silly. I'm not sitting there saying like it's going to be, they're going to have a great chance from it. But for me, Fofana, generally, I know what I'm going to get. He'll drive with the ball. Achimpong does the same thing. I think they're both pretty good in the air. Fofana's probably a bit better. But I just feel like for whatever reason, I can't fully trust Achimpong, especially when we have the ball. And obviously that mistake as well, it wasn't just him. It was Chalobah as well. It was Sanchez.
Gusto staring at him.
The whole back line was at fault, really. I just don't feel 100% confident with Achimpong, if I'm being totally honest.
Well, I think the first problem that's not even related to Josh Achimpong is what you mentioned just there. Everyone else around him, like that, the whole collective of the defense in that moment is just abysmal. And if you're talking, you have a player like Josh Achimpong who's inexperienced and is just getting his minutes and finding his feet, and he is hoping to play alongside players who are quite comfortable in their role, who have been, reliable, who have been just on the ball and carrying us sort of through like 8 out of 10 performances, then fine. Josh Achimpong actually might be looking like a better player in a few games if he continues playing alongside these experienced great centre backs. But when you've got them who are supposedly experienced making mistakes like that, you talk about Gusto, like you can't really defend Gusto as being a young and inexperienced player anymore, because he was literally filling Reece James's boots in his absence, and he's had fantastic seasons now in his career. You look at Trevor Chalobah, he's also been a first team player, yes, considered for sale occasionally, but still been around for long enough. And when you're talking about them sort of having those lapses, it's like, how could you possibly blame Josh Achimpong too? I know individually in isolation it's a poor error to make, but I would look at the games where even Enzo Maresca played him at the start of the season. We were all like, keep starting Josh, keep starting Josh. I argued he was our best centre-back. When Fofana wasn't available as well, he showed so much more promise than the senior players. And when you've got your so-called experienced guys like Tosin and Badiashile making those big errors that lead to us dropping points, then you'd argue that actually Josh, for me, shows a lot more quality, shows a lot more initiative. Like you guys saw the dribble, the Rudiger, Kurt Zouma-esque dribble from our own box all the way up until, and he backs himself because he knows he's got the quality. It's just about like polishing them. It's about growing them. It's about improving them. And that comes with game time. So if anyone deserves that time to grow, it's him. And you don't halt him by dropping him to the bench in a game like tonight. It's actually a perfect opportunity to hand him another start and encourage him to improve. But for me, Achimpong is a special player. Like, we don't just hear good things about him constantly. Yes, you might raise your eyebrows and say, well, if he is as good as everybody says, then why is he not getting more minutes? But it's just a case of managing him and growing him. But when he doesn't have anyone like a Thiago Silva to learn from, he's kind of just doomed. He's set up to fail because he's trying to learn on his own in that back line. And when he's got like his teammates making that many errors and not supporting him, yeah, it's a shame. But you look at him and you say he could be a top player in a year's time if he was getting consistent minutes playing with somebody experienced. It does go a long way, but he's kind of just left out on his own to fend for himself.
It's kind of like the Chalobah argument then. It just needs experience next to him.
Well, they all do, don't they? None of them do have that experience. But, some of the errors we've seen from like the Sassis and Tosin again, like Badiashile, like these players have genuinely had absolute shockers, and they're potentially supposed to be like better players. And then you look at Josh Achimpong's errors and you're like, you can maybe let some of them slide because of inexperience. He hasn't really played. And also, when is the last time Josh Achimpong played? And then you're starting him in a game, and you're in a Premier League game, mind you. It doesn't matter if it's lower level of opposition. It's still Leeds. It's still the Premier League. And you expect him to just sort of click of a finger. He hasn't even been, I don't know, managed well to be handed a start and given the responsibility and help to flourish.
I agree with Neil, by the way. I agree with Neil's comment. I think Josh would be great on the right side of a back three. Do you guys agree with that? Sorry?
We don't play a back three.
No, I'm just no, we don't. I'm just saying, like, I think he would be good in that.
But I was surprised, when we did play the back three against Arsenal in the cup, why he didn't play.
Well, I feel like that it's kind of just a continuation, right? Isn't it? You've got your starters, and then you only rotate when you
as
need
well, though,
to.
isn't it?
Well,
I'm not saying that's the right
thing.
thing, but I mean, it's like
with
the
him, right?
hierarchy, isn't it?
He was good at he had a good game against Leeds. The moment the game got more physical, that's when he started to struggle. And so he's still, I know we've seen him deal with the likes of Mateta opening game of the season. He's had, you know, he dealt reasonably well. I think did he play against Brentford and Igor Thiago? He might have been on the pitch for that game. I can't remember. But certainly with Mateta, like he's shown that he can contain or can, you know, compete well against these big physical strikers. But that would be one of the things I'd be not concerned about, but one of the things that needs to work on is when it gets physical, he does tend to struggle a little bit. But as Nina said, you know, it's very difficult when you're a young player. If you come in for a game, you make a mistake, which is to be expected of young players, and then you're not seen again for 2-3 weeks. That's not helping anyone. That's not helping someone develop. That's not helping someone get better as a player. So look, I think we can all admit that our best partnerships, Chalobah and Fofana, and Achimpong is probably not ready right now to be that first choice centre back. But whenever we make a rotation, because Fofana can't play 3 games a week or whatever it is, or twice in 2-3 days, then instead of a Tosin or a Badiashile, Achimpong should be getting those minutes. Or if Chalobah's rested for a game, Achimpong should be the first one getting those minutes. And, you know, they talk about turning down big money for him in January. There was a loan offer from Crystal Palace. If you believe in this guy, play him. Don't say one thing and then your actions are the complete opposite of what you've said. So I'll be interested to see how many opportunities he gets. I'm going to be very interested to see how Mamadou Sarr does in terms of, has Sarr now jumped ahead of Achimpong in the pecking order? Is he now suddenly that first choice rotation, or has he moved ahead of him since coming back? That's going to be an interesting dynamic there. But I think Chelsea are going to find that in the summer, if Achimpong isn't really getting semi-regular minutes over the second half of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if he asked to leave, especially with us in the market for another centre-back this summer anyway.
I think there's a good chance we get decent money for him as well. I mean, we get more money for Achimpong than Tosin, for example.
Yeah, of course you would, but it's not even about the money. It's about, you know, having a top talent on your books, being unable to show a pathway or unable to give him opportunities for whatever reason. Yeah. And that player is not just going to sit there and wait for opportunities when they're not going to come. And so Chelsea can say they don't want to get rid of Achimpong, but if he's not playing regularly, there's going to be a lot of clubs interested in him. And if he's got any sense of people advising him, and I hate to say it, if I was advising him, I'd tell him to get out of Chelsea because the minutes are just not going to be there.
If it's a case though of us continuing our project and just constantly bringing in young players, and then Nina made the points, which I agree with, about not having the experience beside him, which is why he's not able to perform, then you would sell him because we're not bringing in experience. So you're never going to get that.
For a fact, he could be like a regular starter at a club where he's like valued and he's playing alongside some experience, and it goes a long way. You know, we sound like broken records talking about experience, but it's so important, especially in your back line. Like, you know, you keep talking about it. Fofana, an expensive centre-back who was envisioned to be someone who could really be one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League at the time we bought him. Obviously unlucky with injury that's maybe stopped his development. He's been in and out. He isn't necessarily reliable. So that sort of sailed. But you look at our defence as a whole, and I might take out our fullbacks because I genuinely think we've got incredible fullbacks at their best. But centre-backs, I keep saying, and I know we're far away from that, but you're not going to win or get anywhere close to a Premier League title with the options you have there. So, of course, come this summer, if you're looking at taking that extra step, it's such an important area to address. Like, you either build your experience, you know, sort of throughout the years, but still having players to learn along from, or you go out and buy it. Like it's, and I don't think we can build the experience because I've seen the qualities that our centre-backs do have, and I don't think they're good enough. And I think what we've seen from our centre-backs is their optimum. It's not like there is like room for development, and I'm taking like Josh out of this equation. I'm talking about Tosin, Badiashile, maybe even Chalobah. Like, we've seen these players. I'll take Levi Colwill as well, because when he's back, I think he's still got a lot of sort of scope for growth because he's a very, very good young centre-back as well. But the ones I just previously mentioned, that is their best. We've seen them at their best and they're not ever going to get any better. We're still going to see the same mistakes. We're going to see the same inconsistencies. And
not Chalobah. Go on, give Chalobah a bit of slack. He's
do you think
good when he's got a good partner.
No, so do you think that there's still a version of Chalobah that we haven't seen? Like, you think that there's... I'm talking like these players have shown their very best. It's not like they can become somebody else. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
When you say like their very best, like I feel like you're almost saying that Chalobah's on the same level as, you know, some of the other guys, and I don't.
No. I'm talking about their own individual standards. I'm saying we've seen the best from Chalobah as a performer, as a defender, and it's not like you can say, oh, you know, in 3 years Chalobah's going to be a Virgil van Dijk. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that, because I think this is the very sort of best we've seen from him.
I'm with you. No, that makes sense. I mean, just on signing the ready-made players as well. I'll just respond to Richie. Big up to you, my friend. He says, "Can City win the league? It's 5 points now." I'll be honest. Yeah, and the
5 maybe means 5 if you include goal difference, because Arsenal's goal difference is better. But I mean,
I'm with you. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That Brentford result, that the Liverpool game,
they were very good.
Brentford's were amazing. They should have won. You know what? Brentford, it was the same when they played against us. They had opportunities and they probably could have scored like 3-4 goals, but they were just so off par, like in the final third. It actually annoyed me.
I didn't watch the game. I haven't even seen the highlights, to be honest.
They missed a lot. They missed some good chances.
They missed some great chances.
So did Arsenal in the end as well. But yeah, I mean, the draw was probably fair, but.
Is it true that Arteta came out and basically said they were just playing for set pieces? This is not football. Is that true?
I've not.
I saw like memes about it, but I don't know if that's actually true.
Well, I'm not sure, mate. I don't know.
So do we think City can do it? Because I'm going to say yeah, I think they will.
Do it. And we've got an opportunity on March the 1st to do everyone in English football a massive favour. It's not just for us, mate. It's for the greater good of the game.
It is for the greater good of the game.
Mate,
honestly,
it's not like any points
with us.
Mate, we want 3 points. We want to enjoy the moment. We're not just doing this for us. We're doing it for English football. That's what we're doing it for.
Make a documentary about this.
Who do City have next in the league?
It's FA Cup this weekend, isn't it? And
then in the league.
I don't know. I'll have a quick look.
Because it's like, can you count on City now to go on a little mini run?
Absolutely.
They've got Newcastle at home. Newcastle at the Etihad. Newcastle haven't won at the Etihad for like 20 odd years.
Well, they've blown them away in the cup.
So look, they've got Salford's in the cup. Forget that. Yeah, Newcastle on next Saturday.
Leeds away.
Leeds away, and Forest at home.
And see, these are points that City actually could drop. Like that's the annoying thing right now.
Leeds away 5-30 potential drop points, but looking at Newcastle and Forest at home should be a win. Crystal Palace at home should be a win.
Arsenal will keep getting lifelines in this, but
it's getting to the point where Arsenal might have to go to the Etihad and win.
Yeah, I think so too. It's funny because like every time, and it was like that the season prior to Liverpool winning as well. Like every time City would drop points, Arsenal just didn't manage to win their games or also drop points. Like the pressure got to them.
Arsenal should be 12. The league should be done. Arsenal legitimately should be 10 or 12 points clear. With the amount of opportunities they've had to extend the gap, and they've failed to extend the gap every time.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like when we played them, I know we lost, but
should have won
they're
that game.
not a great side.
Yeah,
they're a great side defensively.
Yeah,
they're not a great side.
I agree, but also if they had to win the game, they would have played differently. I think the fact that they didn't need to score.
We just blame Robert for that one. I'm afraid.
I don't know how different it would have been if they had to score in that second leg of the cup. Like they obviously would have played differently, and it would have been perhaps more difficult for us. But who knows? But we got an opportunity to play our part as well in saving the game.
Saving the game. The truth is, Charlie.
This is what it's come to.
It is saving the game. Like if Arsenal win the Premier League, it's one of the worst things that ever happens in football.
Nino, you remember when we lost 5-0 under Poch, and do you remember the camera guy
Yeah.
Do you remember Ollie? So Ollie was the camera guy that day. He's not a football fan, so he doesn't know where to stand or anything. So he's by the bloody train station while we're outside the stadium, and he's going, "Where are you?" I'm going, "Where are you, mate?" He went, "Meet me at the station." So we remember we went on that long walk, and you and Jacob and me were getting Charlie, were you on the walk with that? Yeah, you must have been.
Yeah,
that was miserable.
And like they were just giving it, and I thought,
and there were fireworks as well. Do you remember? It was like, it was honestly awful.
I thought to myself, like, because prior to that point, because I'm not massive on the, there's a lot of Twitter stuff going on. I'm not really massively into that. I don't tweet. I don't really like a lot of this online football fan beef. I'm not really into it. But that when I saw the reaction to that result from Arsenal fan, I finally understood what Lewis had been telling me. I was like, I understand now. I understand why everyone hates Arsenal so much. I understand why we do. Like, they are the worst fan base I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's not even about celebrating, because you can celebrate. It's the way they do it. It's the fact that they don't just want to celebrate amongst themselves. They want to make it their mission to make your life miserable as well. And for that reason, we need Man City to win the league. So I'm with you on that one, Charlie. I'm with you.
I mean, that 5-0 defeat has to be one of my lowest, most miserable memories as a Chelsea fan. Like, even
that was when Father threw the bottle at the cyclist.
It's between that one.
Project. This project.
It's between project.
It's between the 5-0 Arsenal, and Alex, you remember this one, when we got battered 4-1 at Brighton on Potter's first game back there. That was also a terrible low as well.
That was a tough one. Yeah, I mean, Middlesbrough for me was the worst under Poch. I'd probably
do you know what was also really bad? Losing to Wolves on Christmas Eve.
Oh God,
mate.
That's not fair as well.
Alex, we had them stupid Christmas hats they gave us, and
I remember me, you, Matt, and I think Kev. We took a photo with all the hats on. Do you remember that one?
Terrible.
Oh, no,
I mean, it's a good memory, but like Rachel was like, "Oh yeah, you should wear the hat again." I was like, "Well, it's not memorable because we lost. I'm not going to wear the hat if we lose."
So eat your Christmas dinner with your Wolves away.
She kept the hat. She kept it. She was chuffed. I mean, she came to the game as well. We were all bloody waving it around.
I think that was like, wow. No, there was some pretty low moments since the new, under the new regime. That was bad as well.
If they're gonna move games to periods like that, at least make 2 London clubs play each other, or 2 Midland. Like, can you not at least do people are solid and like don't make them travel a million miles? But you can't have it all. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty confident about this game. I'm not confident about a clean sheet.
You can't be confident about a clean sheet.
Clean sheet's really important. It is important.
But you're not going to get it.
Going through is obviously the most important thing, but I guess that's sort of the one thing that's missing since Rosenior's been here is a lack of clean sheets. I think we kept one against Brentford. I think we beat them 2-0.
And
Paphos, yeah. So, but then, the goals that we're conceding is just so bad.
Thing is, though, even in those games, right, we should have conceded against Paphos and Brentford as well. Like,
we should have conceded more against Crystal Palace when Mateta was through on goal 1-on-1 and he missed. Like, we should have conceded a couple goals.
Those games we were lucky because it wasn't us being amazing. It was the opponent on the day was quite unlucky. Like Brentford, like I keep mentioning, in hindsight, especially after watching those 3 points against Brentford are actually so much bigger now, because. Again, like you've seen some of their games recently, even in that game, like they had so many opportunities to score, and it's like they just didn't have their finishing boots. Like we've been in that boat a lot. We know that.
That's why, like I said, like the Leeds thing was a result of that was coming because we've been getting away with it in games. We got away with it against West Ham. We got away with it against Brentford. You could say we got away with it against Palace. We should have been 1-0 down in that game, and then maybe it's a different game. I'm not saying we don't win, but like something like that was probably waiting to happen, given that we've been getting away with results in games that we probably didn't deserve to win and ended up winning. So it's weird how it works out. We probably didn't deserve to beat West Ham. We probably didn't deserve to beat Brentford, and we did deserve to beat Leeds, and we didn't. It's just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, the defending is, but it's not even like we're bad from a structural standpoint. We're just like, other than the Somerville goal for West Ham, their second goal, the goals we've conceded have all been awful defensive mistakes. You can hold your hands up if someone's outplayed you and done a nice bit of play and they score, but other than that one goal, all the goals we conceded under Rosenior have been.
Wasn't Crystal Palace also like a really
set piece? We like, it was scrambling around in the box.
I quite like the fact that Rosenier's happy to. I don't want to say park the bus, but I feel like once we go up, he's quite happy to just sort of hold on to it. And there's two sides to this, because you've got the side which is obviously you want to push on, but there's also like, let's just be logical here. And Maresca never really did that. And I always felt like we could be vulnerable towards the end of a match. I'm not saying that we were bottle jobs. I don't think we were, but Maresca, I think the same with Poch. Like in those last 30 minutes of a game, I couldn't sit here comfortably and say, right, this is what's going to do it for us. And I feel like the way that we're setting up is at least sustainable for when we do have better players. Like if you have more numbers behind the ball, you're less prone to make mistakes. I know that you're going to have balls coming in, but then you just need competent players, right? So you take away those mistakes. I think that we actually set up the right way in a lot of those games. And not to mention, like, we are happy to press as well. It's not that we aren't. But it's not just the pressing either. It's once you win the ball back, it's being a little bit more direct. That's what I liked about the West Ham game, for example. I honestly don't believe, even with exactly the same substitutions, that we win that game with Maresca, because we would have been too passive. We wouldn't have been direct. We wouldn't have kept pinging balls in the box like we did in that match. So I guess there's a combination of things, but yeah.
I'll tell you what as well though, mate, like, I know it sounds weird, but we don't come back from that game if it's a lunchtime kickoff or a 3 p.m. We just don't. Like, there's something about games under the lights and games at night time where it makes a difference. Like that Newcastle game, the 2-2 at St James's, if that was a 4:30, if that was an evening kickoff, we don't come back. We're not making that comeback. We're not making that comeback.
Why did you say that?
Because, mate, the difference that playing at night time makes to like atmosphere and just general kind of play and belief.
Blaming it on daylight,
no, I'm not. I'm just saying that, like, having those games at night time, that does make a difference. Like, for example, you play Leeds. I'll tell you what, mate. You go and play Leeds at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. We don't lose that game 3-1.
We're fucked, mate. Regardless, if Tossen
style. What I'm saying is though, mate. You look at how Arsenal smashed Leeds at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, beating 4-0, 4-1, whatever it was. They don't do that if it's an 8 p.m. at Ellen Road. They just don't.
I guess I understand your point. Well, I would say that if it was a Saturday 3 p.m.
night games, that's conducive to producing exciting moments. Like, for me, I just don't think half those comebacks happen if we're just playing at 3 p.m.
Is there like proof of that? Is there like anything to prove that?
Probably not. No, it's just a feeling.
Fair enough. I respect your feelings, Charlie. I respect you. Football's an emotional game.
I think there's something to it. There's definitely something to it in terms of playing Leeds and Newcastle at night time compared to playing them in the day. 100%. Particularly at their places.
Okay. Swiftly moving on.
No, Alex, you know that as well, bro. At Leeds, both for sure, the home games at night, you get a much better atmosphere than in the day.
Well,
yeah, go on, Lena.
I don't know. I was going to say it's not related because those games are still late, obviously. But when I was in America in Winton, I watched the Newcastle game was at 6:30 in the morning where I was. And I was like, this feels wrong on so many levels to watch a game at 6:30. And then I said to everyone who's out there in some crazy time zones, like, fair play. How do you guys do it? Or the Atalanta Champions League game was at 2 p.m. And I was like, it feels wrong to watch Champions League football at 2 p.m. But then it's just how people do it. And I was like, wow, like it's got a different feeling as a fan watching at that time. Because I'm literally sat there with my coffee in the morning at 6:30, like half awake watching us play Newcastle.
Yeah, the 3 p.m.s. The 3 p.m.s in America or some other places, like they're like that's like a 9 a.m. in the morning kickoff.
Let alone 12:30 kickoff. That's like what? Yeah. Literally 3
a.m. Yeah, you get up on a Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Stick the football on. Sounds all right.
So fair play to all the Chelsea fans worldwide, because wow, that's kind of insane.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it though if I lived in Australia or something like. I don't think I could do it. My sleep is messed up as it is.
You'd still do it though.
I wouldn't.
So
Charlie would live in Australia and he'd still make the trips.
I would not. I would not watch the football if I lived in Australia. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Well, you're not a real fan then, are you?
But do you know what though? There's different ways that you can be a fan. There's different ways. So my way of showing it is I like going, but look, as long as it's like within like a reasonable time frame. But once you start talking about 10-hour differences, I think that's going to be a tough one. If I've got like, let's imagine you got a family, you got kids, you got to wake up, do the school run, you've got a job. How am I going to wake up at 4 a.m. and watch the football? Like, I need my sleep. I've got this. So I do some other stuff. And I did a podcast with a nutritionist, right? And I told him about my sleep. I was like, I don't know what's going on, man, but I just need loads of sleep. And he was like, you don't. He was like, you don't. And he was talking about diet, all this. We haven't really got to like. He's going to give me some stuff to do. I don't know what it is, but I was thinking, like, if I struggle in my own country where I don't even have to adapt anything based on the time schedule, then how am I going to fare when I got a 6-hour difference in whichever country? And that's why I respect the fans from abroad, like especially Americans, Chinese, like wherever, Indian. I don't know what the time frame is, but it must be big enough. Australian, I couldn't do it. Have you ever had to do that before, by the way, guys?
No.
Well, just in America over Christmas.
You did it in America. And how did you find it? That was what, 5 hours behind?
So Chicago is 6, I think.
6 hours behind.
So yeah, and then Kentucky's like 5 or something like that. But I was in both places for different games, and like I said, the Newcastle one was the worst because that was like 7:30 or something like that.
When you went to Kentucky, did you have KFC? Because that's where it comes from.
I actually didn't have KFC.
That's so poor.
Although I did have something.
You're not embracing the culture very much, eh?
You didn't embrace the culture. How? Yeah, didn't
have
embrace
you
the
guys
culture.
ever heard of Buc-ee's? You must have been when you were in America.
Buc-ee's.
No.
Rings a bell, but I've never been.
No,
apparently
what is it?
It's so cause we were with my cousins there, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to take you to a really cool place," and they were like, "It's actually a gas station." Obviously, they call it gas stations, don't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, well, why is the gas station going to be this exciting?" And she was like, "No, it's going to be great. It's going to be really fun." And basically, it's this massive like place, and it is the gas station. Like they've got, but it's not like here where you've got like 4 or 5 different lanes. It's like massive. It's like 30 or 40 of them. And then inside it's like a shop, and it's got people making like burgers, fresh burgers. And
service station,
yes, I've been there.
And they sing songs while they do them.
Maybe they've got like loads of places that do that. But no, I went there. So that they had the fresh burgers. I watched him make it, and then they had the milkshake.
Sandwiches. They call them sandwiches, not burgers. So it's like, oh, I'd like a sandwich, please. But it's like an actual burger.
Did you get a milkshake?
Good. No, I got a what did I get? I got like a chocolate pot with like some different like.
You didn't get a burger? You didn't get a burger?
I did get a burger.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a sandwich rather. No, it was really nice though. It was like chicken. It was like actually fresh chicken. I think it would have been nicer than the KFC one. And it was so good. And I was like, where is this in England? We need a place like this where they make them fresh and they're like really nice and taste so good.
Tell you what, Alex,
I was like, I felt so overstimulated because there was so much happening. You had the people singing, making the burgers. You had people selling like loads of different sweets. You had like little taste stands of like little crisps and stuff. And I was like, I don't know where to look. There's so much going on. And then they've got like some merch and stuff. Alex, but really fun place though.
It weren't better than your cheeseburger on the train, mate.
Yeah, I got a cheeseburger on the way back from Birmingham. I was actually quite impressed because it was so cheap.
Mate, it did look pretty shit, to be fair.
It was awesome. No, honestly, I really enjoyed it. No, when I went to America, Nina, I got the burger and then I got the milkshake, but they just scoop ice cream into it.
Yes.
Mate, it's
I counted. It was like 5 scoops, 6 scoops. He went all the way up to 9. I had 9 scoops of ice cream.
Mate, you had a diabetes shake, yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I
put on about 6-7 kilos when I went to America. I still haven't lost the weight.
My brother and I.
What's that?
We went to this,
6-7 me.
I'm trying to find it. Guys, I was craving a milkshake, say milkshake, when I was out there, and we went to this place, and they only have the chain in Chicago, and they basically make, like you say, they're called a chocolate cake milkshake, and it's an actual chocolate cake.
With a cake in a cup.
Blended into a milkshake.
Oh, that sounds grim.
It gets to the point where it's too much, doesn't it?
And I was really craving a milkshake. So my brother and I, we were like, my brother said, actually, should we share one? And I said, no, I want my own. I'm craving my own.
Really?
I got small. The small was like literally.
No, the small, like a US small is like a UK large, basically. It's mad.
I'm not even joking. I had to concentrate on this drinking this milkshake, and at one point I was like, I feel so sick.
Mate, do you know what I done, right? You know you can do those food challenges, right?
What challenge?
If you need to do them food challenges, like in America, where
right. If you eat the dish, you get it for free.
Yeah, mate. I went to this pancake thing in LA, that's a few years ago now, and tried the challenge, mate. It's mate, they were fucking massive. And basically, if you eat it all, it's obviously free, and you get a T-shirt, and you get on the wall. And mate, I got about 3/4 through, and I had to wave the white flag, mate. I was done.
You can do it, but it must have been.
Couldn't do it, and then I didn't eat for the next 2 days, mate. I was so fucked. Yeah,
Jesus,
it was so bad.
What was on the pancakes?
I'd be sick.
Man, I can't remember. It was like there's like that whipped cream on the top, and then there was like syrup and bananas and mate, you know, like you have to have like loads of water to help get it down, all that shit. Oh mate, it was a bad.
That makes me more full. Guys, all we've done is talk about food on this stream today.
The truth is, though, like, what else are you going to talk about in a whole preview? If I'm being totally honest, like, I mean, well, put some questions in the chat as well, and we can answer them.
Bad day.
I mean. This is quite a relaxed stream, but it's nice. This is the nice thing about streams, I think streaming this is acceptable. If this was a pre-recorded, someone's taken time out of their day for a recording podcast, and they hear us talking about what we were in America, it's very different. I feel like in a stream, it's more. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, but if you're pre-recording, then that's a bit mad to be talking about that. But
American Fan TV. We don't even have any Americans on this channel.
No, we don't.
We don't have any Americans. I would actually happily have
wearing my New York shirt.
Yes, yeah.
Really is American Fan TV today.
You went to New York, Charlie, for the final.
Yeah, I did, mate. Yeah.
Final, right?
A great time, yeah.
I love New York. New York's simple. That's what I like about it. Easy to get around. 40-second stream. You just literally walk up.
It's expensive though, mate. It's a joke.
Oh, it's very, very,
very expensive. Yeah.
Oh my god, so expensive. I'm never gonna not rave about the because I went with my family and we got 3 coffees and 4 croissants were $84.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And I'm not exaggerating. $84. That number's never going to leave my head. I was like, we paid, and I was like, I'm never complaining about London prices again. What?
No, but probably America is probably the only place where you go and it's like more expensive or the same as London. Everywhere else you go, it's way cheaper. By the way, mate, how cheap was Naples, by the way?
Oh,
mate, it was unbelievable.
I got a plate of octopus for €12.
Mate,
and it was a starter, but it was like a main course.
Mate, me, Fatter, and Sammy went to this pizza place, right? And the fucking massive pizza and a drink cost us €7 each.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What's the worst food place you've ever been to?
I'll tell you what the worst thing I think I've ever eaten.
The worst food place at Chelsea is that little burger place just outside Fulham Broadway Station. You know,
yeah, they're all shit, mate. Yeah, but if you're,
mate.
I think the worst thing I've ever eaten was a few years ago at Molyneux. It was a chicken balti pie, and it was absolutely dog shit. It was so bad.
Oh, it doesn't sound great.
It was poor. That's really the worst thing I've eaten.
Nina, I suppose we've got to make it like match day relevant, don't we?
I don't know. I normally eat at home before match days, and then I'm starving by the end.
Big list of things to choose from that are terrible. If you made it,
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Wait, what? What did you make? You know what? I feel like I didn't want to hear that anyway, so I'm just going to quickly.
No, it was basically it wasn't bad. I was just saying, if you made it, there was probably quite a long list.
At least I can cook. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you cook? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Sausages and beans on toast.
No.
It's not cooking, is it?
No, I didn't say I do that. Well, I can do that, but I agree it's not cooking.
I'm a very good cook, I'll have you know. Anyways, moving on.
Charlie, you strike me as a chicken and rice kind of guy.
No, well, sometimes, but mate, I can cook. Yeah, cooking is.
Protein shakes aren't cooking, by the way, either. Just
no, who said that?
Oh, anyways, I really like the hot dogs that they do at Stamford Bridge. I haven't had one in ages, but my core memory is Dad's taking my brother and I when we were younger, and we used to just have those hot dogs. They still do them in Matthew Harden, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the rollover hot dogs.
They're not that nice anymore, huh?
Well, the rollover hot dog.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're cheap as anything, but they're not cheap, but they're made.
They're like £7 or £8, mate. Now.
They're more. They're like £10, mate.
When we were younger, they were. I don't know what the worst food I've had is. I don't think I've got a standout memory.
Who's going down?
Well, Wolves and Burnley are done.
Burnley, yeah.
And then
I hope Forest go down.
I think Forest are gone. I'm going to go Wolves, Burnley, Forest.
Yeah. I said this as well. I don't think West Ham would go down. Will go down. I think like prior to us playing Leeds and maybe at the start of the year, I would have said Leeds because I thought they'd run out of steam. But they are quite physical and they do take a lot of points off. So I don't think Leeds anymore either. So yeah, maybe Forest. Hopefully Spurs.
Spurs won't go down.
But probably Forest. Yeah.
That would be fun. Do you think we'll make top 5?
Yeah.
Yes, just about.
It's going to be like last season again.
But it's going to be very, very difficult, I think,
Although
given the things we've got coming up. But I think the one thing that might work in our favour is that everybody's just as inconsistent as us. So, like, if we drop points, all right, it's not ideal, but you know full well that Villa are going to drop more points, that United will drop more points, and that Liverpool will drop more points as well. But I think it's going to require us to go to we've got Arsenal and Villa away. We've still got Liverpool away. I think it's going to require us to win at least one of those games minimum.
And we haven't done that in a long time.
We haven't beaten Arsenal for 5 years.
March is the month, isn't it? Like I feel like if we don't have a good March, then that will make a break.
Arsenal, Villa, and Everton away, and Newcastle at home. If you don't have a good month there, it could be in trouble.
I think we're in big trouble. I think it's also just about winning a bit of belief as well with Rosenior. I'm not. By the way, I think he manages to play as well as individuals.
But you don't know it yet. Like we have nothing to go off with that. Like with Rosenior, there's still going to be question marks because it's like, how are you going to get through that run, right? Like,
well, that's what we're waiting to find out. I guess. It's the first real test, isn't it? Like, I mean, look, these games have been good, and we've obviously picked up wins and points, which are important. But I think we'll really find out what this team's about and what he's about with this over the rest of the season. Because we got a tough rest of the season after this Burnley game.
And also, it's like there are still some worrying signs in the way we've played because the games we've won, we've conceded lots of goals, like arguably goals that you shouldn't be conceding. It's like, what makes you think that coming up against better attacks in the league, you're not going to concede those goals? Like, it almost makes even worse, and you're not going to outscore those teams. Like, you're not going to outscore an Arsenal, a Newcastle, a Villa, like a Liverpool at Anfield.
That's why we've got to fix up defensively because against West Hams and teams like that, you can to a certain extent get away of conceding a couple of goals. But if you concede a couple of goals to an Arsenal or an Aston Villa or whatever,
like let's be real, if you're 2-0 down at Anfield, are you coming back?
You're probably not coming back. So that's why, it's great to come back and show that side that we can do it. The reality is that you're very unlikely to do that against the top sides and in the sort of games you've got coming up. So that's why fixing up defensively is going to be so important.
Score prediction. I'm going 3-1.
This whole preview's been 5 minutes.
Spoke about 5 minutes. Spoken about food for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I think 3-1. I also wouldn't be surprised if we went a goal down, but I think we'll 3-1.
3-1. I'll make sure I text father and remind him to have.
Mate, there's no replay. That'll be extra time tonight.
I couldn't hear either of you, to be fair.
Sorry, I was just saying, there's no replay, so it'll be extra time tonight if it's a draw.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so if it's level, there'll be a result either way. So it'll go to extra time penalties if required. Hopefully, it's not.
Well, actually, he will surely start strong then, wouldn't he? Or stronger. Just get the job done.
You'd think so, but you just don't know.
Even if we don't start strong, though, we've got enough artillery that we can bring players off the bench, and it's not going to be like Arsenal, isn't it? You bring on a couple of good players, and they'll score you some goals if they've got half an hour. I think that should be a given, to be fair. Yeah. Especially if you're overlapping and you're actually trying to make something happen, which I think we will. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments, guys. If you agree or disagree with anything we've said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, check out okjersey.com. Use that code CFTV. Get a nice juicy discount of 8% off of everything on there. There's a link in the description as well. And smash that like button. We're going to leave it there. Check out Charlie's channel as well. Where can they find you, Charlie?
Blue Brother CFC. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Nina, where can they find you?
In Nina's Chelsea Corner.
Nina's Chelsea Corner. There you go. All the best, guys. We'll catch up very soon. Enjoy.